Most people are using AI wrong, and it's costing them time, money, and loss of trust in a tool that could genuinely change how they work. And the problem isn't AI. It is a silent killer called bad prompting. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what bad prompting looks like, what it costs you, and how to fix it permanently. Here is what bad prompting actually does to you. Firstly, you get generic output. Nothing actionable. You spend 10 minutes reading it and then deleting the whole thing. And secondly, you lose trust in AI. When prompts are vague, AI fills the gap by guessing. And that's where hallucination comes from. Fabricated figures, wrong dates, incorrect information, and that's not an AI problem. That's a prompting problem. And thirdly, bad prompting wastes money. Every time you go back and forth trying to fix a bad answer, the entire conversation history gets resent to the model. Each subsequent question will require more token to answer than the previous one. Thus, to save token and money, it is better to ask questions that is in a way that avoid back and forth refinement.
So what does good prompt look like? Good prompt has 4 elements. I call them the 4 pillars. The first pillar is role and context. Tell AI who you are and why you are asking. A CFO preparing a board paper is completely different from a kindergarten teacher writing a song. AI doesn't know who you are unless you tell it. The second pillar is data source. What's your AI reference? The web, a specific file, your company data only. If you don't specify, AI will guess, and guessing is where error happen. And the third pillar is output and format. Tell AI exactly how you want the answer presented. A table, dot point, 250-word summary, a PowerPoint slide perhaps. Be specific and you'll get what you ask for. And the fourth pillar is constraint. This is where you add guardrails. For example, state when data is unavailable, do not fabricate figures. Or maximum response 250 words. Or recommendation must be specific and actionable. Most people only tell AI what they want. They skip who they are, what data to use, and any guardrails. And that's where everything goes wrong. Without all the 4 pillars, AI fills the gap by guessing.
Let me show you the difference with a real example. I'm going to apply both prompts, the good and the bad, so that you can see the output yourself. Now, this is an example of a bad prompt. Analyze Tesla Model Y price and sales with competitors in Australia. And let's look at the output.
This is what we get from Claude when we ask this question. May 2026 snapshot, very nice. But this budget is 2025. Why not 2026? And then same with this market share erosion. Where is 2026 in here? And then this price comparison, again, this is last year, 2025 prices. Oh, but mixed with 2026. Now I'm a bit confused. And then some headlines about 2026, and then some pricing and blah, and some takeaway.
As you can see, they're generic, long answers, vague, and maybe a bit outdated, nothing you could take to a board meeting. Now watch what happened when I apply the 4 pillars.
Let's look at a real example from number 1, analyze Tesla Model Y price and sales versus competitor in Australia. This is overly simplified generic prompt. A better prompt is the one on the right, where you can clearly see the elements of the 4 pillars. You can see the first pillar, which is the role and context, defining who you are in the situation. So in here, it tells AI your role, which is the pricing manager at Telstra Australia, and also the context. Oh, you've just read reports suggesting Tesla Model Y have declined in FY26, and Zika and Geely are competitive threats. And it has a second pillar, which is the data source. Use web search to find publicly available data on monthly sales volume, drive-away pricing, and key specs for all 3 models in Australia. And it has element of the third pillar, which is outputs and format. It says, structure your output as market share analysis, monthly sales table, price benchmarking table, etc. Really specific. This is really good. And lastly, it has the constraint. It says, where data is unavailable, say so explicitly, and maximum of 250 words. So you can see clear rules and boundary has been provided for AI.
Now, let's see what outcome do we get.
Asking the question differently with better prompt give us a completely different result. Look at that market share analysis and then the monthly sales. Oh, such a big change in May for Model Y, now regaining the top spot. And then price benchmarking. There is nice price comparison and then insight summary and then pricing recommendation.
Same questions, completely different result. You get something more structured, more specific, more actionable. And that's the four pillars working together. If you're new to my channel, I'm Isabella Sisilawati. I'm a CFO with over 20 years experience in financial modeling, board papers, and Power BI dashboard. I'm not a programmer, I'm just someone who decided to get serious about AI literacy and made a commitment to document every step publicly, including all the mistakes. In my next video, I'm going to show you the one feature inside Claude that many people never use. And it's the reason I stopped re-explaining my entire business context every single session. If you use AI more than 3 times a week, this will save you hours. So subscribe so that you don't miss out. See you next time.